All right, all right, all right. There is. Good morning, good morning. Well, good afternoon, America. This is Vinny Chopra and the Vinny and Bo show. My partner, Bo. Actually, I'm here live in Cancun. It's actually 10:30. Oh no, 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 11:30 time in this resort. Really nice resort. But brother Bo, how are you doing, bud? Yeah.
I'm a little jealous now because I wish I was on the playa in Mexico.
Hey, work hard, play hard. I say that, right? So this was really good. Kids, Neil and Monica, Kanchan, they're all here. We are very excited about. And yeah, so tell, a lot of things are happening, even though you're away from business. Things do happen. I mean, nothing just stands still happens, in the business, it keeps on moving. We have a great guest speaker. He should be arriving any moment. Dylan Marma is going to be talking about. He's been a first time investor a few years back and now owns almost $80 million in the commercial space. So we'll be digging into his mind and his attitude and what were his pain points, right, Bo? And how he got so far ahead in just few years. I know a lot of us watch, people who watch us every Friday. By the way, we come live to you 9:30 a.m. Pacific time or 12:30 Eastern time, and in the Vinny and Bo show. And we hope that you will join us every week. And we talk about real estate. There is brother Dylan is here. Yay, yay, yay! All right, brother Dylan, how are you, brother?
I am doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. Hey, I was just sharing. I'm here in Cancun
Wow.
at a resort.
Jeez. That looks amazing. Love Cancun.
Yeah, it's a lovely one right here. I would love to put a plug on for these people, by the way. It's a brand new hotel. A Mexican family owns it. It's called Atelier, Atelier, 5 star. I mean, I would say food is 7 star almost, really. I have never seen at a all-inclusive food like this. But anyway, I just wanted to
Vinny's gonna place an offer on the hotel.
yeah, there we go. But no, good to have you. Dylan, I'd love to introduce you, brother, and then we'll go right into your story. Dylan Marma is a principal of the Requity Group and a real estate investment company focused around the acquisition and operations of the mobile home parks and multifamily also. And he has been a principal on over $80 million in real estate in just last 4 years. So that's very, very exciting. A lot of people want to be in your shoes, Dylan. He has been featured on dozens of podcasts. Of course, you could just Google him, Dylan Marma, Dylan, Dylan, Dilan, Marma, Marma, and he's spent over 100 or even more, hours in consulting. He's also CCIM. So welcome, Dylan, buddy. How are you? You are a repeat guest on our show. Yeah.
Doing good. It's a little bit rainy here in Tampa, Florida. We don't have quite the weather you do, but we'll make do. So.
Sure, sure. Yes, yes.
Oop. Vinny froze. I thought it was me at first.
Yeah.
Take us back briefly, pain points as Ron who watch us, state space. Can you hear
You
me
you
okay?
said just to make sure I heard. Yeah, we
Oh,
can
the
hear you
pain
now. You
point.
said just
The
take
pain
us back.
points. Yeah.
Do you want to just give me to give a quick story background? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and also some pain points. How you change mind shift really.
Yep, definitely. Well, I'll kick it off because I got the gist of that. So the yeah, I guess going back, getting started in this
Help you
business.
to real estate,
I started off with.
See here, a little bit better.
There you go. Cool. So I got your question, Vinny, for the most part. So I started off probably studying multifamily and the syndication model for probably close to 12 to 18 months or so while working W-2 and actively just investing any free time I can get my hands on into learning the business and connecting with people that had more experience. Vinny included in that, and then, eventually made my way, made my first, investment into a 21 unit with a few partners, and then, started getting into, I went full-time to kind of a leap of faith very early, went full-time to, begin syndicating multifamily apartments. So I lived in Tennessee for a few years with a few partners. We began to syndicate, deals, and we ended up working on somewhere over, 5, or I think it's closer to probably 700-ish units of multifamily, and then from there started, we ended up going in different directions at the beginning of last year. So started the new platform. And now we are going to be, we're approaching 900 units of mobile home and RV lots under contract. So we've been growing quite quickly. Now we have 19 employees across different properties and in the corporate office. So we're picking up good pace, and very happy about all of the sort of like the recent momentum that we've seen. So back to your point regarding pain points along the way, and sort of shifts in mindset. I guess I'll just speak to more so my shift, over the last year that, I've really tried to, take, I think in my case, like a lot of what's worked well for me has been taking somewhat high risk bets on myself and hoping that it plays out well on the other side of things. And I'd say that the biggest piece of that right now is just growing the team that we're growing and trying to hire early and build the infrastructure to scale, right? I think that, in real estate, or probably in a lot of avenues of business, like you can definitely have this sort of mindset of like, I'm going to try to just pocket as much cash as I can to invest into my own deals, or invest my own money into deals, and just grow my equity or net worth. But I think I'm definitely following the path of more so I'm going to invest into people and infrastructure and find quality people, pay them well to be able to build a platform that can handle doing billions of dollars of acquisitions in the future, right? So that's definitely where my head's at, in the sense of we're bringing on an in-house controller starting next week. We have so accounting will be fully in-house. This guy's got experience with managing a fund of $750 million with vertically integrated. So he's going to be bringing all kinds of systems that he's seen put to work at an institutional level. And outside of that, we've brought on some managers on sort of our corporate level, so to speak, that have 15 years or so of A-class multifamily experience here in the local Tampa market. So we're really doing a lot to I'm doing a lot to be conscious of pretty much just focusing on trying to invest into people and viewing people as our biggest assets right now, knowing that if we get the right team around us, that we will be able to accomplish much greater things than I can accomplish just trying to wear all the hats myself. So that's been sort of the bigger shift and sort of the direction my mindset's been in quite a bit this year.
Excellent. I'm just kind of thinking back 10 years, maybe in my case, and by having the accounting is the heart of any business. So I'm really happy to see that you're getting a controller in-house, because that's the heart of any operation. The cash flow, the money coming in, money going out, accounts payable, negotiations, all that stuff is so important. So accounting department in-house is amazingly well. In my case, our case also, it has helped. We have had Neil management group with the accounting department, and in Ideal Investment Group and Management Group. So let me ask you a question. You also mentioned you're getting the asset managers also, I heard, right? So you're vertically going to be managing all your assets, I understand, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we've done a lot to put systems in place on, the day-to-day rhythms that our community managers are supposed to follow when it comes to like meeting with the maintenance crew every single morning, having the maintenance huddles. Then we do a one-on-one team huddle every morning where we try to, bring the energy, kind of hold them accountable to the different, what tours are on their radar today, what kind of, what does the work in progress look like, what turns are in motion, and then we do, weekly one-on-ones with each of the community managers. So now we have the two sort of asset managers, one that's overseeing, the North Carolina territory, one that's overseeing sort of the Tennessee territory, and then they sort of share the Florida territory as we grow. And the focus point for them is just pouring in with each of their individual managers that they're overseeing, and ensuring that all of our sort of like rhythms and are executed on well. So we're doing a lot on like the biz dev side of things, just trying to invest into the infrastructure. After this call, I'm going to get on a business development call that we do once a week, where we take like an hour to kind of strategize like what other sort of like systems we need to put in place, what are the reports we need to be putting in place, so that way we want to try to build the machine so that it can just kind of run itself eventually.
Sure. Have you bought like the manual which you'll be training your team members on at the property level?
Yeah, we did actually. We actually just recently invested into something along those lines that seems like a really good starting point for us, and then we have to kind of modify it to our own sort of processes and things along those lines. But yeah, we've got sort of our manual in place now, and now we just actually recently got on an LMS, like an online training platform, so we can start like creating videos where we can teach on how do we use our pulse report, how do we use this report, right? So like there'll be like an academy sort of training platform for our internal teams, so they can go through that.
Oh, awesome. I know that was something in my academy which is lacking. I always wanted to do the property management side with not much knowledge out there to teach. So having that platform that you're working on, that's amazing. That's wonderful. Yeah. Bo, buddy, what kind of questions you?
Oh no, I'm just listening. I'm taking it all in. So, are you buying RV parks too, or are they just attached to the mobile home park?
Yes.
Typically?
So our first acquisition of an RV park was, sort of a long-term RV park that's half mobile homes, half RVs. And that was sort of our first step into the market. But currently we have 2 under contract right now that are, pretty much pure RV communities that have, long-term RVs that are significantly under rent. And we're looking at hiring experienced campground hosts to be able to go in and drive up the income and be able to run it more like a business, running it with a mixture of some of the long-term, some of the short-term, and creating additional revenue streams through having like a store on site and selling maybe gasoline, selling wood for the campfires and that sort of thing, right? And both have some like sort of cabin sort of Airbnb exposure. So there's definitely like the hospitality element to that. But I'm the more I'm reading about the market stats, I mean, the millennials right now are making a heavy push into outdoor hospitality space right now, and the industry itself has projections to double, triple in the next 10 years. So I think the outdoor hospitality space which of course RVs are a big piece of that. I think is in a I think we're in a unique time where that's going to be continuing to be sort of a very popular thing to sort of be able to unplug and be able to find a nice place where they can have create good experiences for each other in desirable like attraction driven locations. Like one of ours is going to be near the Smoky Mountains. The other one's going to be right on the intercoastal, sort of in like a nice vacation area, not too far from the Outer Banks, North Carolina. So I think that there's, I think that's a space that we're just actively getting our hands on as much education as we can right now. But we definitely think that, assuming we can, execute well, and as we feel like we have the right team to do, we're going to continue to grow in.
Awesome.
So on those RV parks, do you look to put like those yurts on them, or is there like a model behind that?
Yeah, so the yurts are pretty much those are like the tents, right? That's my understanding. Those are the like glamping tents, so to speak. I think we're looking at building a few cabins. So one of them, we're building 25 additional RV lots and probably a few cabins on it. But we're looking at the possibility of just experimenting with, possibly installing some of the yurts that are like, I think those are like $10,000 or $15,000, and I think they can produce great revenue. So it's definitely something on our radar, but we're still sort of coming up with our exact business plan, trying to dial it in. But I mean, the return on investment on those sort of things is incredible. If you can spend $15,000 and get $100 a night, even I think that will pay for itself pretty quickly. So it's definitely really, really interesting in that sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do you see the market? I mean, it's overpriced right now, and my gosh, I mean, we are trying to underwrite, but not too much is, sticking to the ceiling there to really go after. What do you see in the next 2-3 years? What's going to happen? Any kind of prediction?
Yeah, that's always a good question. We definitely are seeing it. It's very tight. We also do look at apartments here only locally, though, only here in Tampa. But the market here is on big stuff is below 4 caps, and and smaller stuff even it's still maybe 100 basis points higher. But it's tight and tougher to find yield even with the debt rates available. So and then on in the MH and the RV side of things, like cap rates have definitely came down a whole lot. As well. We've been lucky to get a bunch of our deals off market, sort of direct to seller. So we've been able to get pricing that we feel like is better than we would get, if it was just a purely, listed on the market kind of stuff. So, like that's been kind of keeping us moving and keeping us busy during this over the last year. But I think that, my sort of view is that I feel like we are doing the right things to become strong operators, and that there's always going to be a place for that, right? For people that want to place their money into, good apartments or, quality apartments and or, MH communities or RV communities, all of them have sort of different risk and return profiles. But, I feel like as long as we're being smart and not getting into something that has too much, risk in it, and we definitely pass on a lot of stuff that like looks really kind of ugly in the first year or two, right? Which there's a lot of that kind of stuff out there. We try to find stuff that's a little bit safer, even if it means maybe a possibly slightly less return, just to go after stuff that looks secure, long term, kind of like has kind of an institutional quality feel to it at the end of the tunnel. We feel like there's I think all these different asset classes are going to be strong. We don't see there being an oversupply of housing anytime in the distant future. So we think that as long as we're disciplined now, we have good debt coverage, we have good reserves going in, that we should be able to still find stuff that looks attractive. And it's not like real estate's the only area that's seeing low returns right now. I think it's just a different, sort of world that we're living in. So it's just, it's sort of adopting to maybe the new normal, or maybe we'll look back on this and say that was a crazy time and, maybe things shift again, but, it's hard to say. I like to say like we try to prepare, not predict, we just try to just work with what's on our plate right now. So
Sure. I know, Dylan, you have a hard stop in a few minutes. I know you're a systems guy. So what kind of apps you guys are using, or some special services, and what book you might be reading right now?
Yeah. So as far as apps are concerned, Monday.com has been a big one for us. We've definitely gotten really good with that, with like our whole like due diligence process, takeover process. A lot of our I call them like the KTBR, like keep the business running processes, things that have to take place every month. We try to track those on Monday.com. And then we use just a lot of just simple like Google Sheets and Google Drive docs to manage a lot of the stuff outside of that, and of course like AppFolio for our property management and investor management side of the business. So those would definitely be like the big ones that we spend most of our time on these days. Looking at that app called Trainual for the LMS. I know there's a bunch of different platforms out there, but that's the one that we're looking at just because it seems simple and easy to like create trainings for your teams. You just kind of create the video really quick off the Loom, and then it populates in there. So I kind of like the layout on that one. And then as far as books I've been reading, Lately, I've actually been reading just a lot of like general like reports on the spaces that we've been sort of venturing into in terms of like the MH world, and kind of seeing what's happening on that side of things, as well as different RV reports and studies, to kind of get really familiar with like the recent growth in the industry, and the sustainability of that, and what different sort of interpretations are of that side of things, and been going through a lot of different videos, trainings, and things along those lines too, to just trying to just really like dial in on the specific stuff we're studying right now.
Awesome. Bo, buddy, yeah.
No, that's great. Every time Dylan comes on, he's doing something big. So
much information.
It's always now on these on the mobile home parks that you have acquired, which some of them had like some park owned homes, right? Are you converting those right now, or are you just leaving them, or?
Yeah, we've been doing a pretty good job with converting them. It's definitely not a quick process, and we don't do like a fire sale. So we do more of like we try to get cash sales, and in some cases we'll do sort of like a rent to own type of a setup. But it definitely does take time. Tax season is always a big season to try to get a lot sold, because everyone's getting their money back for the year. So it's a great time to get cash sales. So it's always a big, that's always our big push, is trying to get everyone ready for tax season. And it's definitely been coming along. So
what are you seeing as far as like, there seems to be a lot of push, obviously, with the RV parks and things, these like mobile, like on trailer type homes, and the mobile home business looks like they're building these amazing, like Boxable and all these companies that are coming out. Do you see like, so the future, like bringing on those type of properties or those type of buildings onto your properties? Like, do you see like the future is going to be where mobile homes are maybe more accepted, and where in the old days I heard that mobile homes weren't like stigmatized like
they used to
now.
be for wealthy people, right? Back in I think it was the 20s. That was a very, like, the Rockefellers had mobile homes, right? Like they were initially driving around mobile homes, and it would be what wealthy people did to travel and get around and whatnot. And then it wasn't until I think the 50s when a lot of mobile homes started mobile home communities started to transition into more of the affordable living options that they are today. And then there was a separation, because the traditional mobile home and the RV were the same thing for a long time. And then they started to build these wider homes that you could actually tow on a trailer, right? And then those became what we consider mobile homes today, even though they're not as mobile. And then RVs stayed at that same size, that were the skinnier ones that had the wheels. So the two split, and then it sort of became more of the affordable housing space that it is today. But I think that there is a huge push for tiny homes, right? And I think that there's there's definitely a lot of interesting ideas out there. I think it's so early to really tell what that's going to look like, but it's definitely something that we kind of continue to keep our eyes on. I like to watch what like the bigger players like Sun Communities and like those large REITs are doing that are in this space, because they've really been able to build some really neat park they call them park model structures, where they turn them into like these beautiful vacation rental communities and things along those lines. So there's sort of the avenue of going like the hospitality, where they pay for the full year, but they're more snowbirds that only use it half the year model. And then there's also these sort of ideas of tiny home communities that could be long-term living situations. So we're just sort of working with what's on our plate now, but keeping an eye on what's out there. And then when we see something that looks interesting, that is not too far out of our wheelhouse of what we feel comfortable with currently, we kind of will incrementally start to adopt.
Sure.
And when you have vacancies in these mobile homes, are you like that you own these coaches you own? Do you go in and rehab them? What's the difference between rehabbing a mobile home versus a house? Any big differences that you see?
So you don't really make a lot of profit on rehabbing the mobile home. That's my view. It's just like it's not even worth, like, we've tried doing these big fancy upgrades early on, like, and just to see like, oh, can we get like profit on our sale? And it's just totally not worth the time to do it. And you probably won't have it. We'd rather have speed of execution. So we would rather do like the bare minimum to make it a nice, clean And I don't say that like not in a bad way. We don't cut corners, but like we just want it to be a nice, clean living situation that we can sell for as low of a dollar amount as possible and still make our profit, like, or at least break even on the sale in that sense, because it's going to be quicker to sell. So given our business model, we're sort of just trying to play towards the affordability, because we make most of our money off of, of course, increasing like the bottom line income over, a many year period. So.
Awesome. Hey, Dylan, it's been such a pleasure to hang out with you, bud. And what would you say to somebody who wants to get started in real estate, in commercial real estate? Just last 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah,
left.
I would say the biggest thing is just really just making sure you're getting, you just stay focused, right? Choose sort of a path and stay very focused on that path, that market, the asset type, right? Like obviously, for me, like, I spent 4 years pretty much purely doing apartments before shifting into what we're doing today. And, without that kind of focus, you can definitely have a bad day and say, oh, I'm going to go try this, and then switch to trying something else, right? And you're just never going to get much done if you just keep sort of dabbling too much. But if you just, if you stay focused, people will pick up on that. Investors will pick up on that. Like, okay, they're definitely, they know their space, they know what they're doing. They're going to be, effective with, their execution. And that's, I think, the key.
Very good. Very good. No, so exciting to have you on board, buddy. And, anything you can share with us, you do for fun, and also how to give back to to your community. You do something.
So I'm going to the Bucks game this weekend, so that'll be my first Bucks game. So that'll be good time, and that's the big thing right now as far as giving back. I think we're just we that's definitely on our radar for next year. Is starting to think about how we can give back. We do a meetup in the local market. We do a free meetup where people come out and learn. So I definitely hope that adds some value.
Awesome. How can people reach you, bud? Yeah.
Definitely, you can reach me on LinkedIn. That's my most active social media platform. So definitely feel free to reach out to me there, or you can shoot me an email anytime at dylan@therequitygroup.com.
Excellent. Dylan, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. I just wanted to tell the audience, we did a great fundraiser last month on the charity water, and it's still going on. Actually, if you would like to donate, they do projects for 29 different countries around the world, and vinnychopra.com/charity water if you would like to help out. I think we raised about $12,000. I know Brenda raised another $8,000. That's almost $20,000 for the project. So that's very nice, very nice. Thank you so much, Dylan, buddy. I know you have to go.
Love it. Yep.
Wrap up in a second. Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, buddy. All right. Bye-bye. All right, Bo, how is everything going there, brother? Yeah, we can wrap it also in a couple of minutes.
It's going well. Just it's been a busy year, I tell you. We only have about 2.5 months left before it's 2022, right? So
yes.
This year just flew by. I don't know. It just I've stayed focused. I've been able to. I haven't let COVID slow me down at all. I think I've made tremendous progress, and I'm building systems like Dylan. Dylan's a good systems guy.
He's a great guy, really, really great guy. Very, he thinks and plans and organizes. I know when he joined my academy 4 years back or so, I think, I could just see that, the guy is very, very focused, right? And also systems guy. I really see Dylan excelling quite a lot. I told him that before also, and the way he's building his business, he's forward looking, that's something I got today. Many times we are just in the humdrum of today, but he's building the systems with 17 team members now in a short period of time. And he got controller on board, asset managers, 2 of them, all those things. Yeah.
And he's not even 30 yet, right? He's not even
30.
He's
not. He's only 26, I thought.
27 maybe.
27 maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I look at that guy 15 years from now, he's going to be a whale. He's going to be a huge whale.
Totally. All right. No, thank you everybody for joining us. I know sometimes we see a lot of people joining, but somehow this Restream or other one we had, StreamYard or whatever, We can't really tell how many people are joining, but please do like us and comment and reach out to us, to Bo and myself or John, if you'd like to be on the platform to come on a show, something to offer to the community in the real estate and in loans and all that. This show is for you. It's a Vinny and Bo show, and we thank you very much for joining us. Bo, any last comments, buddy? Yeah.
Have a great weekend, everyone, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next Friday for another great show.
We will. We will. I'll be back in California, and it's been wonderful here in Cancun. My gosh, I can't believe it. But thank you, brother. Talk to you soon.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
bye bye.
Bye bye.